but not really. Good morning. I am so excited to share this quick and potent, powerful interview with my dear friend, client, colleague, team coach, master coach, author, speaker, extraordinaire, amazing human, Rachell Kitchen today. We're talking about doubt. And Rachell and I have had a journey together here over the last few years, and she has an incredible new book that we're going to tell you about in a little bit. But if you've ever struggled with self-doubt, I believe self-doubt is part of the creative process. It's part of what happens when we're expanding and growing and creating. Whoa, and knocking over our coffee and our water because it's early in the morning. Whoops. We're okay. That's nowhere near the computer.
Hopefully it's not by your computer.
Hang on. Hold that thought. Say something interesting, Rachell.
Hey, everybody. As you can see, I'm in my little elf costume because we've got a goodie that we're going to tell you about later.
All right. I got a towel. There we go. I have a brand new desk. And it goes up and down, and it's very fancy, and I just don't want it to get some big icky water stain on it.
No, I don't blame you.
So there's a time when, listen to me talk and lead this interview while I dry up the water. Okay, I think we're good. There's a time when that moment that we just had would have filled me with trepidation, overwhelm. What am I doing? Oh no, what are people going to think?
Stop the recording. Let's not do this.
That's recording, right? Like, sorry, wait, we'll come back. And, being able to master our own inner talk is what I know you're a master of, and your clients are getting extraordinary results doing that. So I'm very excited to have this quick conversation, and I know you've got other things to go on to. So do you mind if we just dive in and start talking about this?
Yeah, let's go for it.
I think it's one of the I think that self-doubt with the anxiety and the transformation and the disruption that's in the world right now is up and elevated. I think more people are aware of it. And I definitely think that it's maybe the most powerful thing that stops us from transformation. And
Yep.
I'm all about transformation, and I help many people who are experts of transformation and helping the world to have the transformation. And so I'm very excited about what we're talking about here today. And I have to say how freaking amazing you are.
Oh, I just adore you.
And it has been an incredible joy and inspiration to have the opportunity to support you, work with you, see how you take action and take care of yourself, and the contribution that you continue to step into to bring your expertise, experience, transformation to the world is stunning and remarkable. And I just think you're a freaking awesome human. So thanks for being here.
Thank you, sweetie. Right back at you.
Yay. You'll discover that Rachell and I are fabulous friends, and we love each other a lot. So this is the Mutual Admiration Society. However, let's talk about self-doubt. And I have a couple of questions. I just want to make sure that I get them because I think they're pretty good. And I think a lot of people are going to relate. So if you're here and you're watching live, comment. That lets us know that you're here. And we just had a water snafu. It'll make us feel like, oh my goodness, they're there and they still love us. Okay. You like me. You really like me, right? And it also helps other people to find this information, right? It's like your tuition. It's your a token of your appreciation that you comment and share what's valuable to you, then other people will benefit. So we're talking about self-doubt. And one of the questions I wanted to ask you, I know you have a new book out. We're going to tell people about that, and we have a special opportunity for them to get it. And you talk to a lot of really successful women. So I'm going to hear about some of that, share a few takeaways of what you're seeing of how they've navigated and what they've transformed. But my first question is, do successful women have self-doubt?
Absolutely. In fact, the high achievers are the ones who suffer from this most. I interviewed over 30 women for this book, and all of them were highly successful in their field. And at some point, they were stymied, halted, literally frozen in their tracks by self-doubt because the stakes are higher. You're a high achiever. You're always trying to one-up yourselves. And so this higher because you perfect us because oh my gosh, everybody's going to find out that I don't know what the heck I'm talking about, or I got to wait until I know exactly or be able to do it perfectly. And it was just a running theme that kept coming up in every interview that I did, no matter the level of success of the woman.
I think that's really powerful. And I know that I have had different stages in my life where experiencing success, like we show everybody our A reel and we want to be successful, but the more successful um, my clients become, there's a new level of vulnerability is the word I use, right? The stakes keep going up. And even if we're kind of competing with ourselves, we want to, it's I think it's our journey to expand,
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
continue to expand. And yourself and many other people that I've worked with, the idea of being an expert, claiming your expertise, right? Saying
Mhm.
I'm a successful person, sharing your success, standing in your powerful success is something that's been a little unsafe for women in the world. And the higher we go, the further you fall and all that crap that
Right.
has been. I'd love for you to share just a couple takeaways
Well,
about.
the thing is, too, some of the messages that women uniquely get throughout their lives, whether it be from their families, from teachers, from cultural and societal expectations
Yeah,
of them and beliefs that they take on as their truth and never question it. And then they govern themselves in
yeah,
that way. There's a wonderful story in the book about a gal who, for over 10 years, she was um, got the messaging that who she was at her core was too weird. She grew up in a very conservative Jewish household, and she just got this messages from her teachers, her Jewish community, and she never questioned those messages. And so she was not living her true self and being her true self for years. And it made her unhappy. It gave her stress,
yeah,
anxiety, and all of
yeah.
that. And all of us at some point have those messages that we just grew up with, have
Mhm.
internalized, and have created habitual ways of being because of those messages.
Yeah.
And we never question it.
Yeah. And it's powerful. And I think that there's a perception when we're comparing everyone's A reels to, our B reel, or, I
Our
say
behind the
comparing our
scenes, I say.
outsides to other people's,
Yeah,
our insides to other people's outsides, right?
right.
Um, that everyone else is more successful or it's easier for them and all that head stuff. I'd love to hear just a couple of takeaways if you have a transformation story, a nugget from the book of how someone really started to shift that or overcame that particular dynamic.
Yeah, the gal that I was just telling you about, SB, she told this wonderful story. I don't know if you know about the Buddha story, the golden Buddha, that big, beautiful golden Buddha in Bangkok. It used to sit in an outdoor kind of hut, and the monks, in order to protect it, had put plaster over it to protect it from thieves. And so when they went to move this beautiful statue that had just been plastered over, move it to a new location in Bangkok, it fell off the rigging and it chipped. And the movers saw like this shimmering underneath. And as they started to shine flashlights and figure out what was going on, they realized that the gold Buddha was underneath. And that's how SB used that as a parable for her own life, because she said, because of the messages she had gotten,
Yeah.
the the compare and despair type stuff she was doing,
Mhm.
she had plastered over her core self. But as she started to realize all about the gremlin messages that she was buying into, she was able to lovingly and kindly chip away at the plaster to reveal her brilliance underneath. And I just thought that was a beautiful
Nice.
story. And it is so much a part of what we all do.
Yeah.
Um, you know,
I love that, and I'm looking at comments. I'm a little bit distracted. I want to say hi to Terry's here. She's saying
Hey,
she's
Terry.
watching. Hello, Michelle. Stars here. Thanks for chiming in, you guys. And I was making sure that we were broadcasting everywhere, and I wanted to get to this other question. I know we have to respect your time. You've got a call to get to. But so can you? Is there a particular story that might share that might a sneak peek into the book that we're going to share with folks in just a few minutes about what hidden self-doubt, like people who didn't? I know that I kind of had this bravado and didn't even realize that I had self-doubt, or it was like a pendulum swing for me, especially in my earlier years. So what can hidden self-doubt do to your life and business? Is there any particular, I'm putting you on the spot totally, but is
No,
there,
here's the thing. There's a great visual in the book that really shows this process because, and you and I have talked about this. No matter how successful you are, and especially when it comes to building a business, you're going to need to get out of your comfort zone in order to, do the things that will move you forward faster. And here's the thing, just outside of our comfort zone is that fear zone. And that's where our gremlin, that messaging that we hear in our head lives. That's where we are affected by other people's opinions. That's where we find excuses to not be visible, not follow up, not call the next client, not do the next speaking gig. And that's where our self-confidence starts to get chipped away. But if we can face those messages and move into the learning zone where we can figure out how to meet the challenges and how to acquire those new skills, then growth happens. That's where we're living our best lives. We're living into our dreams. And there's a wonderful story in the book about a gal who she had this vision of creating a networking group for women, but she was terrified to even stand up and say who she was. But she went from, taking on one little meeting to now being the founder and CEO of a national networking group, speaking at meetups, conference on stage when she was totally terrified to be able to do that. And that story was all about facing that fear, staring down the gremlin long enough to move into her learning and growth zones. And then, of course, when you do that, your comfort zone expands.
Hell yes, girl. You're singing my song. I believe we come alive just outside our comfort zone. I believe the stories in our mind can make us feel alone, right?
Yeah.
So good. And Lorna's here saying she's really appreciating the conversation. And,
and she's right. We plaster over those wounds.
Right.
Trauma also adds to that messaging that we never question.
Yeah, and we do harden up and protect and adapt. And I think that, especially, I'm here talking in my audience is we're talking about transformation and growing a business of transformation. And I think, this, you've been working with me for a long time, but for those of you watching, we consider business as a creative act, and transformation happens through implementation. And, this expansion is the nature of reality. Expansion is the nature of the universe. And so this idea of playing bigger, of expanding and transforming is what we're here to do. And the more we do it, the more impact we can create, and the more successful our business is, the more of those technical nitty-gritty things like leads and sales and enrollment. All of those things require us to, most of us, especially in the transformation industry, to be outside our comfort zone, right? We don't want to do it for the money. We don't want to be greedy. We don't want to be sales. And as you know, my specialty is being visible and helping people heal blocks and fears around being seen and heard, really claiming their voice. And that's exactly what you're talking about. My transformation, and every transformation I've ever seen, is a whole bunch of support. And you said something that's so important that I want to highlight, which is self-love, self-compassion, something along those lines. Like, we have to be nice to ourselves in order to transform. And I tend to strive.
High achievers tend to beat themselves up. We tend to often, in the name of we're thinking it through, self-sabotage. We tend to procrastinate. Those are some of those side effects that you asked me about
Yeah.
because of
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so is there one like a tool or a little taste from the book, perhaps? I know you have a million of them, of like, what could we do? Do you have an exercise or a prompt that you ask yourself or you discovered through the people you talked to in the book to uncover, like when, to recognize or uncover hidden self-doubt? Maybe it's those symptoms that you were just talking about. And I'd love to have just a little, have you take us through a quick exercise or process around what do we do about it, right? How do we identify hidden self-doubt? Because for me, it's a sneaky little pest.
Yeah, it's sneaky. And the first key to really getting a handle on this is awareness. So
Yeah.
everyone watching, you now know we all have a gremlin. We all have that menace of the mind that can halt us, hold us back, slow us down, and stop us. We all have it. And you know it because I've told you so. We all have it, and you've probably experienced it more than likely.
Yeah.
And so just start to pay attention when you are procrastinating. Ask yourself, okay, what story am I telling myself here? What's going on? And just by simply noticing, that's going to allow you to, one, accept that, okay, what's holding me back is me. And then you can take responsibility. Now, a caveat, when I talk about taking responsibility, I'm not talking about labeling yourself as the problem or,
Yeah.
or piling on or self-blame. I'm talking about, if you look at the word responsibility, I'm talking about your responsibility, your
Yeah.
ability to respond differently than you normally would. And
Yeah.
just having that awareness, you'll be able to decide, okay, am I going to give into this fear? Am I going to give into this doubt? Or I'm going to choose something different. And that's going to help you start to learn tools to be able to flip the switch on that negative self-talk so that you can take action and
Right.
create the life of your dreams.
Right. So powerful, that moment, if you can give yourself that moment of awareness
Yeah.
and just like there's like I think it's Mel Robbins has the 5-second rule, like that awareness. There's this moment of awareness, and then you have a choice about what you're going to do. And that's really powerful. And I think you also have some resources that people can get when they grab your book. Why don't you tell us about your book? And I want to make sure that we get you out of here in time to go to your clients here. And I will share a link for people around. I know I can do this. Ready? Tell us about your book. I found the
Yes.
banner.
It's called Doubt Your Doubts, How to Transform Negative Self-Talk, Take Action, and Confidently Create Your Dream Life. It's all about helping you through these high-achieving women's stories, identify your own gremlin stories and find out where you're holding yourself back and help you get out of your comfort zone so that you can live into your greatest intentions. And so I'm hoping that the book will be a guide for others to really help them to stop self-doubting themselves and what they're capable of and what they deserve, because we sometimes have stories around that, and really step into that power and to talk about how your words are to have so that you can soar and stop procrastinating about the things that matter most to you so that you can achieve that joy and abundance and fulfillment, all the reasons why you got into business in the first place, and really so that you can stop hiding and staying inside your comfort zone so that you can help and serve the people that you are meant to serve. And that is my hope. And I'm hoping that will be the book will be a guide to help you do that through these women's stories. And I'm just super excited about it. I've wanted to do this for a while and I finally made it happen. So I'm just, again,
It's amazing. You're so incredible. This year you have accomplished so many of the things that you set about working at 3 or 4 years ago with me, and before then, I know as well, with all of the training and your own transformation and all of those things. So you have been speaking all over the place. You've been paid to speak. You've had your first, I don't know how many, if you'll share a financial success with us and be bold and brave, perhaps outside your comfort zone.
Oh, it's not. no, no, no. This past month through the book launch, I had my first like in sales in terms of new sales,
Mhm.
$30,000
Your
sales
first
from
$30,000 a month
from
is
one
incredible.
from one talk. And
From
that was
one talk.
from one talk.
It's incredible. And it's also alignment and courage and dedication and commitment, right? You have been consistent. You have been consistently, I've seen you consistently invest in yourself. You had an incredible team around you for this book. I know you've been working in our coaching and other coaching programs. And I have seen you again and again show up and invest in yourself. And oh, there's lots of folks saying nice things. Hang on, I'm going to post. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm going to hop over there in a minute. I want to be respectful of Rachelle's time, and I've only got her for a couple more minutes, but I've posted the link to Rachelle's book in the Power Up Your Presence group and on the business page. So if you're watching there, I think this is for 30 days. We have just a few more a couple weeks, a few days to buy it.
Because then the paperback will launch in mid-January.
Cool.
I would love, my publisher is allowing me to offer the ebook in celebration of the launch for, to my peeps. And that includes your peeps who haven't bought it yet.
Yay.
For the first 30 days of the launch. And I would love for your peeps to share their thoughts by leaving a review on Amazon after they
That's incredible. Yeah. And so it's 99 cents.
Yes.
We can get this and we can read it right away. What a great gift to yourself or to someone you love, a powerful, high achieving woman that you love during this time of year. I know some people have more time to read and absorb. I've got a couple new courses from my favorite creators that I'm going to be treating myself to the time to go through. And it's also a time where we're thinking about who do we want to be? Right? Who do we want to be in the new year? And there's a reason why, we just passed the solstice and we're coming back into the light. And I love this time where we go into the dark. It's my favorite time of year anyway, coziness and snow.
Yes,
we have that in common. I have posted a link to the book in both these places, so you can get it on Amazon, 99-cent Kindle download. You can read it right away, and it's an important thing to do, especially if you're here in my world. You're probably growing a business, and for me, my spiritual journey, my spiritual expansion, creative transformation is my business, the fullest expression of my message, my voice, my vision. We give voice to our vision on this show, right? And the fullest expression of that for me is thriving business. When my business is thriving, my message and mission are bigger than me. They're more sustainable than me. They're not just all dependent on me. And it means I'm reaching and touching as many people as I can. So the number one thing that for sure stops people from doing these big, bold, courageous, exciting, thrilling, fulfilling things, like actually intentionally creating your life, which is what Rachell has documented in this book, How to Do It, right?
Yep.
Is insecurity, uncertainty, self-doubt.
Yes.
Right? So this is a manual for
absolutely. And if you love story and learning through story, you're going to love this book, because that's probably my most favorite thing, and the most that I'm proud about, that it is not just a rote do this, do
this
that.
Happen, this happened, do this, do that.
It is really rich in other people's stories that are hopefully going to bring you to epiphanies about your own, so that you can make the change.
Beautifully written. It's beautifully written, and it does just that. It helps us to relate to other women who are experiencing both the self-doubt that is part of being a human, I think, on the planet, and the exaggerated levels that can happen for the high achievers, and moving through it, which is, it's just beautiful to see. I think we need to see that again and again in our visibility journey, and our marketing business journey, and our personal development journey. That's the thing that is so powerful, and it's beautifully written, my friend. It is beautifully written. You've done a great job. I did have the pleasure of being a part of your book and being interviewed. So for those of you following me and in my world, you'll get to see a whole deeper dive part of my early story around finding my voice and my music. And so
Michelle was so generous in sharing her story. So candid, so
I love doing it. I love doing it. It's such an important topic, and I knew I was in really masterful hands. Yay, Lauren, I got your book.
Yay,
Woo!
yay.
Christmas read. I love it.
And guess what? In the end, when you get to the end, you have the opportunity to get my confidence check guide.
That's what I wanted you to tell us about before you got to go. We've got like 2 minutes before your clients
Well,
are going to
at the end of the book, there's a resources page that's going to take you to a website where you can get resources to help you even further and do that deep dive.
Invest your time, attention, and energy
Yes.
in claiming the resources and then doing them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So good. So good. So what do we get? We get your confidence.
Confidence booster guide.
Nice. Awesome. I adore you. I am honored to share this journey with you. You inspire me every day, and I'm so proud of you. And this book is incredible. Hey, you guys, last thing we're going to really ask you to do. If this video has been valuable and inspiring, please comment, share it. There's lots of places you can share this for other people to take advantage. And that helps Rachell's message be shared. It helps people know that we're creating and holding value for people in the world. And when you get this book, give it a review, right? Share your takeaways. Share a powerful thing. Take a minute to say one awakening that you had or one new aha that you had. And that is the world we live in. And it's like putting a spark of your creative energy, a ripple in the pond that's going to help other people. So Rachelle's not going to know every person who reads this book, right? And she's not going to know how many lives she can touch. And this is you and all your marketing and messaging. You don't know who's going to pick up what you're putting down that day.
Yeah.
And when you show up and share it, which Rachell models extraordinarily well, I've seen her do courageous thing after courageous thing and transform and own her expertise and her mastery over and over again. And that's what you do. When you do that, your presence, as Marianne Williamson taught us so long ago in A Return to Love,
yes.
As we are liberated from our fear, our presence automatically liberates others. So share this, comment here, come back. We'll be checking in. And when you get the book, share a review on Amazon because that's going to help her help more people.
Yes.
Rachelle, I love you. Merry Christmas.
Love you too. Merry Christmas.
I know we'll be talking again soon. And we'll be, we're cooking up 12 days of visibility kicking off after Christmas here in our Power Up Your Presence group. So we've got more in store for you guys who want to step past the edges of your comfort zone and get visible, get seen, get heard, and get hired to boost you through the new year. So lots of good stuff coming up here. Rachelle, have an amazing holiday. Thank you for writing this book. And I will see you guys soon. Any final words you want to say just for people? I kind of get excited and talk about that.
Doubt your doubts and create your dream life.
Yes. So good. All right, guys. I probably won't talk to you until after Christmas. So for those of you celebrating Christmas, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. We'll see you soon.
Merry Christmas to you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.